All right. So, but also today here is that I have my partner here, CK, right? CK, are you there? Because we are going to share with you in this particular development, something that how this wonderful development works and whether it's the price is how this development, is it attractive or not? CK, do you mind to quickly just share with them in the next 10-15 minutes, right? Telling them how this development, how nice the layout is, how different compared to others. CK.
Yes, sure. All right. Thank you, Calvin. Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is CK. I'm the project lead IC for Bartley Vue. So this is where I'm going to just share with you what Calvin have just shared with you on Bartley Vue. What is this development really about, right? So just allow me to share my screen in a moment. Okay, so a very quick one on Bartley Vue. This is a quick project overview. Okay, and first and foremost, all right, for myself, as I mentioned, I'm the lead IC of Bartley Vue, all right, with 7 years of experience in new launches. And right here, I want to share with you that first thing first, the developer is WeHeard. Okay, WeHeard has been around for 41 years already, actually. So they are a very renowned local developer. And they also do a lot of being a construction builder, all right, a contractor for a lot of other developers as well. Okay, so this is where, of course, just now we have mentioned, right, for our actual site, we are actually at the RCR location. So what is so important about this is that, again, when we see RCR, right, we are actually having a different price range that puts us in a bigger advantage compared to OCR. Okay, because if you look at this, when people want to buy city fringe, right, when they search on Property Guru, they may just simply filter out OCR, they just want to buy RCR. All right, so this is where, in terms of the area, we are under the central region, under Toa Payoh New Town. Toa Payoh New Town, all right, we are under the Joo Seng subzone. Okay, so this is where for Bartley Vue, we have an unbeatable combination of an MRT and good school. Okay, because as Calvin had mentioned just now, the MRT effect. Okay, so other than that, okay, let's look at the actual location now. When we look at the actual location, first and foremost, all right, you can see that we are actually within 388 meters to Bartley MRT. Good news to you is that from my side gate, all right, if you walk along the sheltered walkway, we will reach the MRT in just 5 to 6 minutes walk. Okay, 5 to 6 minutes walk. And even better is that this walkway is sheltered. All right, you have a sheltered walkway to the Bartley MRT station. So other than that, within 1 kilometer, I actually also have Marie Stella, all right, which is actually a primary and secondary school section. They are affiliated. Okay, so other than, of course, this good school over here, we also have other good schools, like, for example, Cedar Primary. Okay, Cedar Primary is within 1 kilometer. Paya Lebar Methodist Girls' School, at the moment, we are seeing it that's been at the border of 1 kilometer. Right, so to be very safe, we don't want to say that it's within 1 kilometer. It may or may not be within 1. All right, it's very much on the borderline. Okay, so this is basically on one maps, you will see Marie Stella and Cedar Primary. Okay. So of course, another key thing is on the connectivity. Now for people who drive, right, it's actually extremely convenient because from our location for drivers, right, you may recognize that Bartley Road, once you go towards this direction, is towards CTE via Bradle. Okay, and then if you go down, it's Upper Paya Lebar Road towards PIE. And of course, easy access to KPE and Bartley Road East, right, that will lead you towards Bedok or Tampines, right? And this is one of the most interesting point, is that when it comes to the MRT line, we are actually connected to every single MRT line in mostly less than 5 stops. Okay, so in fact, there's only one interchange that is 5 stops away, which is Caldecott. This is 5 stops. Everything else that I'm going to show you here is less than about 3 stops or less away. 3 stops to Bishan, your north-south line. 3 stops to Paya Lebar, east-west line. 3 stops to Hougang. Now, in case you may not know, this is the future Cross Island Line interchange that will come up in 2029. Okay, 2 stops to MacPherson, this is downtown line. And 1 stop to Serangoon, this is the northeast line. So this is where I've just covered literally every single MRT line in Singapore. And you can see how centralized our location is. So by right, today we should be charging an even higher premium for such accessibility, for such convenience. But good news is that we are going back to 2018 price, as what Calvin have mentioned just now. Okay. So of course, immediate amenities. Now, when it comes to buying a development, amenities are super important, right? So good news is that we have right here in front of us Now there is actually a landed estate over here. And right along the landed estate on the outside, this whole area here is actually a lot of shop houses. Okay, what are all these shop houses? All right, these shop houses, basically there's a lot of food and eateries. Okay, so you can see that we have like curry fish head, Vietnam food, mookata, right? Even pizza, if you notice, we have Pizza Hut and Domino's Pizza, right? Very interesting, okay? And then of course, a very famous Kaylee roast meat. All right, of course, we also have your Thai peng, right? Mixed vegetable rice, okay, Muslim delights, and also even provision shops, right? If you want to buy your fresh fruits and vegetables, you can actually get it from here as well. So that is where these are all your basic amenities that are already very nearby, okay, including coffee shops. There are at least 3 different coffee shops in this area, all within 5 minutes walk, all right? Very, very convenient. Then from here, if you're looking for shopping centers, even easier because you don't even need to drive. You just need to take a train, 1 stop to next, okay, 3 stops to Junction 8 and 3 stops to PLQ. So one thing they have in common is that they all have supermarket, they have food court, they have cinemas, right? So be it lifestyle, entertainment, basic needs, is all available within close reach, okay? And of course, there is a new mall as well. This is the Woodley Mall. Okay, so of course, this is integrated with Woodley Residences. But good news is that we don't have to pay Woodley Residences price to actually enjoy their shopping mall. Okay, of course, if you know the area well, you may notice that actually further down is already Tai Seng, whereby we have the Bedstock IHQ as well as Tai Seng Mall. And over here, of course, transformation. Just now, we have already briefly mentioned on all these transformation. I'll just go slightly into a little bit more detail, right? The full industrial city. Now, for this one, right, good news is that this is not your typical heavy industries. We are not expecting like, car workshops or heavy carpentry and so on. In fact, all these are your skilled professionals, right? If you notice here, it's logistics industries, precision engineering, infocomms, media, electronics, clean energy, and even biomedical. Now, so all these are going to be a very massive change of environment, whereby all your skilled professionals, be it locals or foreigners, they may enter here to actually work, and already started the transformation since 2017. So this is ongoing and it will continue for the next 10 plus years. So the significance of this, right, is that when fully redeveloped, it will be increased 5-fold to 2.1 million square meter. Now, if we look at this, right, I convert it to square feet for you. This is 22.6 million square feet. To illustrate the size, all right, if you look at One North, the entire of One North that is near your, Fusionopolis, Biopolis, Metropolis, right? The whole of One North is only around 12 to 13 million square feet. 12 to 30 million square feet. And yet the full industrial city will be almost double of One North. Now, can you imagine the amount of demand required for housing in the future? Right? So that is why we are so excited about this transformation. Okay, and of course, just now was briefly mentioned, Paya Lebar Air Base. Now, if you really look at this, right, you can see that the whole size of this land, right, is even bigger than your Punggol, Sengkang, and Hougang combined. So much bigger. Of course, if you recall back last time when Sengkang, Punggol were very, new, a lot of people say, wow, who will stay here? It's so ulu and everything. But now it's one of the most popular new towns around. So that is where, if you look at Paya Lebar Air Base, there will be a future commercial hub, right, and better connectivity, and also more car-free, walkable neighborhoods. All these are new features. And where are we? Bartley Vue, we are right here. Okay, where this smaller circle is, we are right on the fringe of Paya Lebar Air Base. Okay, so good news, Paya Lebar Air Base is moving out in 2030, right? So it's actually not that far away. After collecting our house keys, maybe 5 to 6 years later, you will start to see this entire airbase move out. Okay, so that is a very exciting thing to look forward to. So of course, let's look at Bidadari itself. This is more of a lifestyle transformation. All right. So of course, to Singaporeans now, the lifestyle is increasingly focused on greenery. Right, we like to go to Bukit Timah Nature Reserve, to MacRitchie, and so on. So that is where good news. Right. In fact, just 10 plus minutes walk from my side gate. From here, okay, maybe a 12 to 15 minutes walk. If you jog, of course, it'll be faster, less than 10 minutes jog. So that is where we have the entire Bidadari Park. Now, what is this Bidadari Park? This is actually a 10 hectares park. All right, 10 hectares park. And if you look at the size of it, it is actually as big as one entire HDB cluster by itself. You can see in terms of the size, how does it compare to the HDB cluster? It's massive, very, very massive, right? So for families who like to enjoy jogging in the park, picnic, fly kite with your children and so on, want to play football at a big field, you can do that at the Bidadari Park. Okay, just 10 plus minutes walk away. So of course, saying Bidadari, right, this is where we have to look at the numbers in terms of the potential HDB upgraders, especially if you're looking to buy for investment. The big question is that who will buy from you, right? So this is also part of the equation whereby these are the people who may buy from you, especially if they want to upgrade to a condo lifestyle, but yet they may not want to move too far away, mostly because of what? Because of the schools, right? So in this area, if you look at the smaller circle that I'm pointing here, this is the first batch of BTO that are collecting the house key this year. Okay, so when will they be able to sell? The MOP is 2026, 5 years from now. So good news is that by then, Bartley Vue will have already obtained our TOP by then. So that is where the timeline actually is perfect. Then if you look further up, now this stretch over here is actually under construction. If you drive along Bartley Road, you will realize they are built more or less halfway. So we're expecting them to collect the house keys maybe in the next 2 years. So that is where MOP is likely to be 2028. Okay. And then right around here, you will see these 3 plots here that is surrounding Marie Stella. All these plots, if you see in the street directory, they are already so-called planned for, but they have yet to commence construction, which means to say that this one key collection, high chance, right, is after 2027, which means to say that by the time the MOP is in the 2030s. So if you look at this carefully, right, this is your supply of HDB upgraders that is steadily already there for the next 10 years. 10 years worth of supply for HDB upgraders. And we are quite certain that in today's market, this area would likely be your $1 million HDB estate. $1 million HDB estate. Okay, so that is how close we are to this area. So as mentioned just now, right, we are the last private residential plot. So what does it mean for you? Today, this is the last chance for you to be a first-hand condo owner in Bartley for many, many years. Why do I say so? Because when there are no new launch coming up, we are actually the youngest 99-year leasehold. And thankfully, all my resale condo over here that I circled, they are all 99 years. By the time I TOP, the youngest by then will be 11. All right. So that is where in terms of the age-wise, we have an absolute advantage. Okay. So when people look for the resale market, generally 99 years, they want to buy the youngest, so that your 99 years is much more worthwhile, right? You can actually have more tenure remaining. So that is your advantage. Okay. The only chance of any new launch coming up will be via en bloc, which will be at least another 10 plus years away based on the current age of the properties around. Okay. So of course, let's now dive deeper into the development itself. Okay, we have just 115 units, a very exclusive development. All right, it's not like a mega big development, so it won't be competitive in the resale market. All right, it's 2 blocks of 16 stories. Okay, and in fact, my basement, all right, there'll be B1, B2 for the car park. Okay, and my car park ratio is basically 80%. All right, because we are near MRT. Okay, and my 99 years start from 2020. All right, so this is truly the youngest 99 years in this area. Okay, and of course, project consultant, this for those of you who may be concerned. Okay, good news is that my developer is also the main contractor. So that is why it's very important, because today, if you're buying a development that is being built by the developer themselves, all right, they would actually provide better quality because it's their own project. Okay, because why? Because there are some developers that outsource the contractor to someone else. But here, the developer is the contractor themselves. Okay, so this is where, of course, when it comes to their own project, they don't shortchange you. They give you very good quality products, right? So this is all mostly European brands. Okay, for Samsung, it's more of the fridge, right? Mitsubishi is more for the air conditioning. Everything else is all your European brands. So these are some sneak peek, right? Examples of what we are providing. Okay, 2-in-1 washer and dryer for 2 bedrooms and individual washer and dryer for 3 bedroom onwards. Now, this is something very, very rare because most of the developments for 3 bedroom, you are still getting a 2-in-1. But right here, we have separated washer and dryer given. Okay, and what you see here, if you look at this, of course, gas stove, right? But this is in my two-bedroom. Okay, in fact, good news, I do not have any units with induction stove in this whole development. Every single unit come with gas stove with city gas, all right? And also for the bigger units, like my 4+ study, you get a wine chiller plus a second oven. So that means 1 unit, 2 oven, all right? So these are all the generous provision by the developer. So now let's look into the unit mix. And this is extremely important, especially today, whether you're buying for own stay or whether you're buying for investment. This is interesting because we have very limited edition of the units. Why? Okay, first thing first, we do not have any 1-bedroom here. No 1-bedroom, no 1+ study. So in fact, in terms of the people who are staying in this development, it won't be so diluted, right? You're not expecting like, more than 50% of tenants, a lot of foreigners and so on, all right? That will be much lesser, okay? But in fact, I only have 1 stack, all right? 1 stack of 2-bed, 1 bathroom, all right? This is 2-bed, 1 bath. Then here is 2-bed, 2 bath. For this layout, I have 2 stack. Everything else that you see here, all right, is 1 stack, 1 stack, 1 stack, 1 stack, 1 stack. What does it mean? It means that, again, whichever stack you choose, if you want to sell in the future, you have very, very little competition, because I don't think everyone will be selling at the same time, right? Some people are buying to stay, some people are buying to invest, some buy to rent out. So in the absolute scenario is that next time when you sell, you maybe only have 2 or 3 other units selling at the same time as you. Okay? So right now, of course, I'm going to let you guys watch this fly-through video to have a sneak peek of our development. Okay, so what you see here is actually our drop-off point, right? And you can see this is the walkway to the side gate, and there's no staircase, making it very wheelchair-friendly, very cyclist-friendly, and old folks-friendly. Okay, together with this rejuvenating pavilion, as well as the function room, now you can see that it's actually a partition wall to separate the entertainment and the function room. And a very nice gym over here. Right, and you can see the lap pool, right? The whole concept is really more on serenity, being very peaceful. Okay. And what I like here is that the barbecue pavilion is tucked very far away from the building block. So you can enjoy your gathering without being, disturbing any of the neighbors. Okay. And of course, full height glass for every unit. Right, when you see the sneak peek here of the 4-bedroom, okay, with a dry kitchen, a very, very huge kitchen as well. You can see a lot of countertop space. And a mega huge master bedroom. Okay, and this unit comes with a walk-in wardrobe as well. Okay, so that will be the introduction video, right? So of course, this is what I have shown you all just now, right? So all this, of course, you may check your agent, they can show you. So now, of course, let's move forward to something more interesting, is that for Bartley Vue, front and back, we have very, very good views, right? In fact, in front of us, we have an unblocked landed view of more than 1 kilometer. And towards the back is more than 200 meters. So which means to say that there's no building that is right in front of us. You won't feel claustrophobic. And best of all is that we are direct north-south orientation. Okay, so towards the front is north, towards the back is south. We do not have any direct afternoon sun facing. Okay, so let's take a look at the views. All right, now look at this. This is what I mean by more than 1 kilometer of unblocked view. More than 1 kilometer. Okay, so in terms of this, when you look at this in the resale market, isn't it going to be extremely easy to sell with this kind of view? Then of course, towards the back, right, you also have your 200 over meters of landed view. In fact, if you go further up, right, you may notice that right here, you have the city view. You can see the stadium, you can see the CBD area. This is for the higher floors. Okay, so this to illustrate from you, all right, taken from our virtual tour, is that if you take a mid-floor unit, can you imagine mid-floor unit, you really can enjoy this kind of view, right? Everything is very far away, and you have a very big, open, clear sky. So can you imagine that if you go even higher floor, would it be even nicer? Okay, Then for the south view, again, more than 200 over meters of unblocked, okay, landed view. So this is where, be it front or back, you can enjoy a very good view. In the future, it's very, very easy to sell, okay? So then the next feature I want to highlight here. Now, when you look at the site plan, right, this is where we have 2 blocks, right, 2 blocks. And each block, right, there's only 4 units per level, 4 units per level. So what I did is the point block, right? Point block means that every single unit is a corner unit. So this is where, if you notice, right, you have a lot of privacy, you don't have a lot of neighbors. And of course, for every block, there are 2 lifts. So 2 lifts to 4 units is extremely generous, right? So this is where, compared to many other developments, I think you can see clearly, this is something very, very rare, okay? So with that, I'm going to show you this teaser here, is that for all my 2 bedrooms, it comes with enclosed kitchen. That means what? That means it has a big window. It has gas stove. And interestingly, every unit comes with bomb shelter for storage. And that is something that is very, very hard to find, because today a lot of people are complaining, wow, all these new launches, where got space, don't have storeroom, wow, I don't have space to put all my things, okay? So right here, every single unit, we have these features for you, right? So I'm going to show you some sample of the floor plan. Now, of course, due to time constraint, I don't want to show every single floor plan, right? That's going to take a lot of time. So let's show you some of the most interesting, the best floor plans that we have, right? So this one is the 2-bed, 1-bathroom. Okay, this is our cheapest unit, right? If you look at this, it comes with an enclosed kitchen, okay, with a door, 2 gas stoves, all right, with a window in the kitchen, and very rare to see a bomb shelter, 2-bed, 1-bath with bomb shelter. All right, that's something that extremely hard to find. Like you notice right here, we also have an aircon latch at the back, which means that there are no aircon latch outside your common bedroom. All right, if you've seen a lot of development, you will notice that usually for 2-bedroom, that will be the aircon latch outside the common room, right? So your window will be like a half window. But right here, my common room is full height glass, all right, full height curtain wall. So then again, one thing I really like is that when you come in from the main door, you also don't see the whole living hall, right? So there's a lot of privacy in this layout. Okay, so this is really, really nice. And there's only 1 stack, right? Stack 6, 1 and only stack. We may potentially sell out this entire stack on day 1. Okay. So right here, this is a 2-bed premium, all right, 2-bed, 2-bath. So right here, this is the show flat layout that you will see. And what I really like is that if you notice, the master bedroom is extremely huge, right? This master bedroom is 17 square meters, including the bathroom. You see here, this is the king bed, and the wardrobe is not facing the bed. So from here, end to end, it's about 3.9 meters, right? Very massive. And next thing, of course, enclosed kitchen with glass panel. It's almost like a 3-bedroom kitchen in a 2-bedroom layout. Okay, again with bomb shelter, as well as windows for all the bathroom, right? Because if you've seen other development, usually it's mechanical ventilation. Right here, we have natural ventilation for all the bathroom in my 2-bedroom. Okay. Then right here, for those of you who are looking for a 3-bedroom, okay, this is one of my personal favorite layouts, because I just want you to see how big is the master bedroom. Extremely, extremely huge, right? Okay, so this is where I think you all can understand and agree with me that in the new launch market, you hardly see these kind of sizes anymore. Okay, in fact, usually for buyers who want this kind of size, you would usually go to the resale market. Okay, but right here and then, I can put a king size bed over here, I can put side table over here, and still have plenty of walking space. Plus a L-shaped panel window, plus extra window here for even better ventilation. Wardrobe flush into the wall. Okay, and it's an extra big wardrobe. You can see this is a very big one compared to the common room. This is a mega huge wardrobe. Okay, so all these are the generous provision being provided for our 3-bedroom premium. All right. And of course, for those who are looking for 4 bedrooms, this is my one and only 4-bedroom stack, 1356 square feet. Okay, what does it comprise of? Again, all right, it has a very big master bedroom. You can see that right here. Okay, and it comes with a very generous walk-in wardrobe. Okay, and plus at the same time, there's a study that comes with a window and enclosable door. Now, a lot of developments out there, they sell you a study, but they keep the, like so-called room open. There's usually no door provided. Right here, there will be a sliding door given to you. Okay. Then every single bedroom are en suite, which means to say that they have their own attached bathroom, right? Be it for the junior master or be it for the common room, you have your attached bath. And of course, right here, we have the dry kitchen and the extremely huge kitchen that you saw just now in the video. Okay, so all these are featured in our 4+ study in the show flat. Okay. So of course, to summarize at end of today, just now we have really mentioned that today, of course, you decide for yourself, is this the right development? And end of the day, we really focus a lot on numbers, right? So this is where is today's present market. Today's present market in this area, right? Park Colonial already have transacted 1,009 and 2,000. Woodley have already transacted 2001, 2004. Hougang 1,008. Sengkang Grand 1,007. Okay. Then when you look at your future new launches at Lentor, OCR 2001, Ang Mo Kio 2000, right? This is the kind of prices that we're expecting next year. Even Tanah Merah 1,007 to 1,008 next year. So when we look at this, I always ask this very simple question to myself: is that, hey, if these developers would even sell at a very low 10% profit margin, and all these are your OCR. Then for Bartley Vue, we are RCR, we have good school, we are near MRT. By right, if we choose not to launch this year, if we choose to launch next year instead, by right, is it fair to say that we should be worth at least 2,002 and above? By right. Because why? Because even Ang Mo Kio and Lentor is 2,000, 2001. And this is when good news to you, we are not waiting until next year to launch, right? In fact, we are happy to launch from this year onwards to sell you at 2018 price. Okay, from 1,007 plus, of course, not every unit 1,007 plus, right? There will be some at 1,008, some at 1,009. But end of the day is that when we really compare, all these are still 2018 price. Why? Because if you look at this area, just now I mentioned, Bartley Vue is under Toa Payoh New Town, right? Toa Payoh New Town. So for Toa Payoh New Town in the same town, and these are all RCR. 2018 Park Colonial, just now coming point has shown you 1,009 to 2,000 PSF. Gem Residences in 2018, also 1,009 to 2,000 PSF, right? So that is where for us from 1,007 PSF, this is where, again, are we buying a new price tag or are we buying at the old price tag? I leave it to you to decide for yourself, right? So this is where today actually is the second last day. Tomorrow is the last day to see, because this Saturday is the booking day. All right, this Saturday is the booking day. So if you want to be the first mover advantage, we strongly urge you just come down and see tomorrow. All right, arrange for appointment with our agents. Tomorrow will be open until night time. All right, so just get your agent to book an appointment for you, because right now due to COVID, we cannot allow walk-ins. Right, we better make appointments. Okay, so that will be the last chance for you to see before we actually book the units from this Saturday onwards. Okay, Thursday, Friday, the show flat is closed to public. All right, we are not opening because we are doing preparations for the launch on Saturday. Okay, so that will be all from me. All right, so I saw a question in the chat as well. Okay, next door Bartley, which is cheaper, nearer to MRT. All right, just answer this question first. First and foremost, in the resale market, all right, it's normal that the PSF is cheaper than the new launch. But I believe if you have listened to what Calvin Fong has mentioned, is that end of the day, you're no longer entering at the lowest price tag in Bartley Ridge. You're entering, in fact, maybe one of the highest, right? So again, I have to ask you back, is that what is your risk to enter at the highest for Bartley Ridge? But just today, all right, we are going to actually be one of the first mover advantage, because we haven't opened, for all the unit sales yet. All right. Okay, Eddie, back to you.
Hey, thank you, CK, for taking a lot of the question. In fact, the panelists for supporting behind. For Jet's question, right, the next door Bartley Ridge, the price is lower, definitely. So we need to think back on one question, right? The purpose of buying this property. Are you buying because of price or because of value? There is a difference. So I bring you back to in time, right? Because I also sold quite a few Bartley Ridge those days. Those days when Bartley Ridge was launched, the surrounding resale was also lower. Why did the owners of Bartley Ridge bought Bartley Ridge at that point of time? And today, are they profitable? So this is the question I just want to ask all of you. That you must understand that those days, they make a choice. Also the same as you today, new launch versus resale. Actually, this topic has been since dinosaur time. Nothing have changed so far. But this thing is still not widespread. It's because, right, there wasn't a very systematic way of sharing information, and also not many people have real-time transaction data. So if you could get it, I just want to urge everyone, get this from your PropNex consultant, the comparison. Did the owners of Bartley Ridge make a profit? And ask them why. You will understand today what is the choice you need to make. So this is something. Then the next thing I saw over here, why 115 units will take 5 years to complete? Hi Jun, so over here, right, maybe I just bring back to CK. The 5 years is legal completion, is it?
Okay, for the 5 years, it's on paper, it's the vacant possession date. But of course, bear in mind, this has been the normal in most of the new launches that have been launched after COVID happened. All right, even older launches, they have all also so-called extended their TOP date. So for developer, frankly, they want to play safe, right? In case of any further delays caused by COVID, they want to factor that in, because if there's any delay, they have to usually pay a penalty to the buyers. So that's why they put a buffer of 5 years, which is actually quite long, I understand. Right.
Okay.
So yeah.
I think that's entirely correct. In fact, right, what CK highlighted, I just want to share with everyone, right? In the past, in the fact sheet, the developers early days, I mean, looking at 10 years ago, right? They only put one thing called legal completion. Legal completion is their legal liability. That means if they are late on their date, right, you can get compensation from them. Those were the days. Then after which, right, they evolve the fact sheet, right, which is the material you get, right. They put one more date called TOP, expected TOP some more. It's not the real TOP date, but they project that they should complete by then. But today, right, after the COVID setting, right, nobody would have done the 3 years optimistic outlook anymore. Actually, right, in the past, right, plus minus 3 plus 4 years, right, is quite norm that they complete. Just that on paper you see, oh, it's 3 years expected. But handover date might also vary. Just like BTO. Today, right, the government be even more safer. They shifted to 7 years. My goodness. So, June, for you to understand, in fact, right, I wouldn't rush them. So unless you're in urgency to move in, otherwise, other way to look at it, right? You all know one secret. I'm not sure whether CK covered that in depth. Hey, but CK, the new launch, there's something called progressive payment. What do you mean by progressive payment?
Okay, so for progressive payment, right, basically it means that you don't pay full installment from day one. You only pay partial repayment according to the stage of construction. So that is where today, of course, if you're buying for investment, if you buy today, your seller stamp duty is only 3 years later, 2024, which means to say by then, even though we haven't TOP, you can already sell. So you can imagine 2024, Amokyo Lentor already selling 2001, 2002 and above. You today buy 2008, 2009, can you exit out at 2002, 2003 in the future in 2024? And haven't even TOP, you can sell already, you can already move on without having to pay full installment. That is how progressive payment works for you.
So in fact, right, so it means to say, over these 5 years, you all know that you can actually sell at 3 years, right? I mean, based on your seller stamp duty. So if that's your strategy and the market is right by then, right, you will not even have to pay full installment. For example, I bought something last year. It's been almost a year. Guess how much I paid in installment so far? CK maybe.
Last year.
Okay. Yeah, last year. Never mind, I wouldn't keep you in suspense because it's getting late, right? $0. It's been 12 months. I've not been activated to pay 1 cent of installment so far. But for me, I have a place to stay, current place to stay, so I'm not urgent. And if it was an investment property, so I look at it this way, it's clear. I just have another 2 years. That 2 years, if they bill me installment by tomorrow, I have 2 years to pay installment. And guess what? It's progressive, means very little outlay. My outlook of investment is this: the lesser money I put out, the lesser risk I am. It's not only about the price that I buy, it's about the outlay. Every month, how much do I pay? The lesser it is, the lesser risk I am. You know why? I'm not stressed. I'm totally not stressed at all. 0 installment. Even when they bill me for foundation, right, guess what? I bought okay lah, $1+ million. It's going to be $300-400 a month. It's not going to be stressful because especially for you guys who are employed, have CPF, right? It's more than enough. All right, but this thing, please sit down with your product consultant, take 10 to 15 minutes, go through RAM, risk analysis method to understand this. Don't buy anything unless you do a consultation. This is what I feel is important today, right? And this is the reason why after 2017, you see how come the price is resilient. Because people become aware. We started this financial literacy movement. We are doing this webinar as part of our movement to educate, to share with the public on what you should take note before you even commit to anything. That's why people today, when they buy, they are not speculative. They have holding power. And that's why the price is resilient. No more speculators in the market. The property market is stable. End of the day, what we're trying to say is that we grow steadily with Singapore. Don't expect rocket prices going up. That is something that we think is dangerous as well. As long as we hedge on the economy and don't lose out on inflation, I think why not? Anyway, for those of you looking for a good home to stay, somewhere near good school and MRT, alright, you have not much choices in the market today, but you do have choices, and Bartley Vue is one of them. So talk to your promise consultant and you can check it out. Okay, somebody's asking me on the outlook on Park Greenwich, right? Today, Business Times. Wait, I'm lost of dates because I'm running every day like 14-hour days. It should be today's Business Time or yesterday Business Time. Dig out the article, Timothy, that have been discussed very thoroughly for EC. For people who qualify for the income ceiling, you should take a look at it because there's grants. But there's one thing, in difference, right, between the private property and the EC, is that the EC, when you go in, you need to fulfill 3 years of construction. Now it could be longer, 4 to 5 years of construction, plus another 5 years of MOP after getting key. Could be 10 years of holding period before you can go on to your next stage of property investment. Well, if that's on your runway and it's comfortable for you, hey, check it out. But if you are someone who is looking, who have enough affordability, the private track, why is it favored? Never mind, I'm just going to draw something very quickly. So, humor me this, not to worry, not going to take too long, it's just one line. So I give you this example. If today, somebody buy a private property on top, right? 3 years, 6 years, for example, if this year you are 30 years old, in 3 years' time you are 33. In another 3 years' time you are 36. Okay, now let's look at the other side. If you buy a BTO, I'm using a BTO as an example. It's the same as an EC, right? So construction period, let's say 5 years. You are 35 when you take keys. By the time you can sell this property, you committed at something at 30 years old. I mean, for those that can afford private, otherwise it's still better than going for a BTO. You can only exit at 40. I assume construction period is 4 year plus. This is your MOP period. This is your property cycle. Actually, it's not rocket science, it's maths. If you know the numbers, besides what you pay, we look at one more thing, our age. This is our most valuable asset. It's called life. I'm not saying that private property you need to sell at 3 years, but I'm saying this. If the market is good, okay, this is your exit point number 1. If the market is good, you could consider. If not to worry. You can wait for the next one. Exit 2. Hey, actually it's not true, Between 1 to 2, all these are your exit points. You all know property prices, the price index is published every quarter, right? Imagine how many exit points do you have, because all you need to do is fulfill 3 years. Alright, this is my quick personal sharing because I bought both things before. So I can tell you the comparison between both of them, and I can tell you what made me the most money. But I'm still blessed because I started with that, right? It gave me my first pot of investment capital that I managed to capitalize and grow my asset from here to own a couple of properties. So there's something important. It's not about what you buy, my friends. It's about how you use money today. Alright? So I think we are pretty good over here. Thank you for all staying with us in this webinar. Hey, thank you, CK. Always a wonderful presentation. James behind the scene, Your Highness, and also Irene. Thank you all the panelists for settling all this. Feel free to ask us any question. We want to answer everything. Sometimes we don't have time, but not to worry. Send it to your promise consultant. They'll send it to CK, myself, and James, and Irene. and we'll answer it and they will send it back to you. All right? Take my word for it. 10:02, not going to extend anymore. Thank you all so much. CK, any last words?
Well, once again, tomorrow is the last day to see Bartley Vue, so quickly make an appointment, okay, so that you can have a chance to join the balloting for the booking on Saturday, right? Saturday is the booking day already, so hope to see you at Bartley Vue. That's all.
Okay, thank you, CK. So I put it as such. Okay, for those of you that have got very important things to do tomorrow, no problem. I'm sure there are important things. But what if tomorrow is an opportunity for you to earn $200,000, $300,000? Will you be there? I'm not saying you surely will earn, but if there's an opportunity, you think about it. It's how I prioritize one. No? It takes me 15 minutes to see something to let me understand what if there really is an opportunity to earn $200,000. Am I going to tell people, hey, 早知道, I should have known. So don't miss it. See you there tomorrow. One last day lah. 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Your lunch break is enough. What's the time? Latest time the show floor is open until?
Okay, the last appointment time slot is 8:30 p.m. But tomorrow we are also slightly packed, so do check with our agent what are the available time slots.
Okay, take care everyone. Have a good evening. So that's the time. See you there at Bartley Vue. Okay, bye-bye.